And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This is another edition of the Sports Cave. Your co-host, Robbie.
Fucking right it is.
And how are we doing there, Zachary?
Ladies and gentlemen, how are we? I'm doing fantastic, actually. You know, big weekend up at the cottage here. Still feeling the effects, excuse me, of the multiple bush lights that were crunched.
What?
This weekend.
What? One beer.
There's
Two beers. 3 beers.
A lot of beers, huh?
A lot of beers, a lot of fun, some golf, good food, good people, good times. That's what it's all about here.
What kind of good food are we talking here? Are we talking?
Well, I wouldn't really say good food, actually. It's burgers, fries, hot dogs,
what the hell?
pizza.
I mean, that's like typical barbecue food, if anything, buddy.
It still tastes goddamn good when you're 25 bush lights deep.
You guys didn't try to like capture any like salmon or sea bass out in the lake there?
No salmon or sea bass in this lake. There is regular, large, and smallmouth bass, a little bit of muskie, some pickerel. But no, there was no fishing. Honestly, there was no way that any of us were going out onto the water with the amount of alcohol we were consuming. So safety first here, folks. That's what we do up here in Canada. Another thing that I find, well, sometimes man can change, Robbie. But another thing that I find hilarious,
25 years deep.
I feel like a cottage, like the term cottage is like really only a Ontario term, like an Ontario, Canada term.
What up, Danny?
Danny, how are you, brother? Because I feel like when you guys in the States, if you're going up to a cottage for the weekend, you guys call it the lake house.
Yes. Correct.
Just a little snippet of information.
Are you trying to like educate the people about the difference between a cottage and a lake house, which is basically the same thing?
No, that's what I'm saying. I just find it funny how like we call it a cottage, you guys call it a lake house, but it's the same thing.
I find it funny that you guys don't call it soda and you call it pop.
Yes, we are two different worlds.
We really do, eh?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't ever do that again, please.
Wrong with what I did.
But Robert, we not too much on the plate tonight for you folks here. We're going to try to make an episode out of it. Olympics are finally done. So take what you want out of that. You got men being a bunch of bitches. You got women with men chromosomes winning boxing competitions in the women weight division. It's been a really crazy Olympics all in all, Robbie. I'm not going to lie to you.
Very controversial from the start.
Controversial, and I'm not just kind of shit. Like, there really wasn't much going on with it. That maybe just because I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. But to me, I guess Summer Olympics, for me, being a big hockey fan, I'm way more of a Winter Olympic guy. So Summer Olympics don't normally do it for me. But, like, normally I'm way more into the sprinting and even some of the swimming and diving events I normally usually like. And then this year, I had no ambition to watch it. There was not I don't know. To me, it was just not one of the shittier Olympics that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, from the start, I wasn't interested once they mocked the whole First Supper with Jesus, and they mocked it, and it goes to show that you don't do that because the whole city lost power outside of the church. And then, like you said, the whole male chromosome thing with the women's boxing really kind of threw me off too. The majority of the players, majority of the people for the United States of America have been pretty much protesting the country as it is, trying to like gain their own little platform, which I disagree with. I just think there's a better way to do it than try to like gain your own platform for your benefit. I would lie to you if I didn't tell you I didn't watch the last two male Olympic basketball games.
I didn't watch 1 second of the Olympic basketball. Maybe it's just the game times.
Potentially, but I believe it was Friday when they were off against Serbia, entering the fourth quarter. They're down by like 13 or 15 points. And
Steph Curry just put the team on his back.
Steph Curry and Kevin Durant put the team on their back. LeBron had a couple big shots as well. Devin Booker had a big three. Joel Embiid, I think, scored 7 straight points, but Joel Embiid a couple times looked very lackadaisical in the defensive end. And the thing that really panned to the Americans' benefits was Nikola Jokic was stuck with 4 fouls, where in the FIBA rulebook, Zachary, you're only allowed 5. You're not allowed 6 like the NBA. So Jokic was in foul trouble to go along with 2 other guys on their roster. Bogdan Bogdanovic had a good game for Serbia, and Serbia almost had a big upset, and they should have ended up being the Americans, in my opinion. They looked outmatched, and not to mention, too, very physical. Very physical. There's not many people that could stop LeBron James when he's posting them up. There were a couple players on that team that LeBron couldn't post down no matter how hard he tried.
Fucking stern Serbians. That's why, baby. Those guys are fucked. They mean business.
They are, but what really was the dagger, in my opinion, was when Kevin Durant had the ball on the top of the key, and you could see Mel yelling from the bottom, KD ISO, let him go to work. Kevin Durant hits a cross, another cross, hits the mid-range jump shot. That might be the greatest. It's up there, Zachary, for the greatest 3 basketball players in American history for the Olympics, because you have Magic Johnson, you have Larry Bird, you have Michael Jordan, then you have Kobe, LeBron, Wade. Now you have Kevin Durant, Steph, and LeBron.
It's going to go, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty fucking three-headed monster right there, if I must say so myself. And even like near the end of their careers, too, just to still be able to be this productive. I mean, obviously, you got to give respect is due to guys like Kevin Durant, Curry, and LeBron. But you got guys in the team like Halliburton and Tatum that are young, kind of hungry guys. And, I mean, Kerr had no problem sitting those guys on the bench for pretty much the majority of this tournament and letting the team run through the big boys.
For sure. But you know what? I never understood from the start why Kevin Durant was coming off the bench. Kevin Durant should have been the starter the whole time. They elected to make him the starter for the France game, which made all the sense in the world. As great as Anthony Edwards has been, you have to sacrifice either Anthony Edwards or Devin Booker, in my opinion, to make room for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer. I've said it consistently of all time. And not to mention, too, he is now the all-time scorer in men's basketball history. I believe he surpassed Kobe to accomplish that feat. He's also 4 gold medals, which I think he's the only guy that's ever done that too. Yes, he's the only guy to ever do that as well. The most in U.S. basketball Olympics history. Yeah, and as we mentioned, added another one here in this Olympics. LeBron taking home the MVP for the States in this tournament here. I don't know. I guess, with the triple-double, he was LeBron was present every single game. LeBron was definitely doing his thing. And to me, at the end of the day, it had to be between LeBron and Curry, but LeBron had the triple-double and the higher averages. So I guess it made sense for LeBron. But what Steph Curry did, putting the team on his back for both Serbia and France, and that crazy, I remember watching that live, floating that ball as high as he could in the air so Wemby couldn't block it, hits the rim, and bounces in. It was an unbelievable jump shot. Zach. What was the score of the final game? I believe it was 96-86 in favor of the Americans. Okay. Well, like we just said, they won gold in that one, Robbie. And if you'd like, I have the total medal counts up here right now on the computer. I would love to have you talk about that, but I'm trying to find this. You know who Mike Greenberg is, right? From ESPN. He used to be Greeny and or Mike and Mike. The name does sound familiar. Well, I'm trying to see if I can load up his thing. He had a very interesting list for his top 5 greatest shots he's ever witnessed. And I'm trying to see. Okay, here it is. So the most memorable jump shots that Greeny says. Number 1, I think he's living recency bias, but he has Steph Curry at number 1 for that jump shot against France, the dagger, the double team. Wow. Number 2, he has Michael Jordan, round 1, game 5. I believe that was against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 3, he has Christian Laettner's 1992 Elite 8 jump shot at number 3. Number 4, he has Ray Allen's game-winning, game-saving, game-series-saving jump shot, Game 6 of the NBA Finals with the Miami Heat. And number 5, he has Chris Jenkins, 2016 Villanova National Championship, the shot at the buzzer that won the championship. But Zachary, as soon as I saw this, I thought of 2 things. Number 1, Ray Allen has to be 1 or 2. Ray Allen's number 1, guaranteed. I mean, that shot is... He saved LeBron's legacy. That's the greatest shot in NBA history, exactly. The other thing I'd say is I would substitute out Christian Laettner's 1992 Elite 8 shot and put in Kawhi Leonard's jump shot. That's got to be up there for me. I mean, that's probably number 2 for me, to be honest with you, just because of being a Toronto fan. I'm taking out Michael Jordan's jump shot against the Cavs, and I'm replacing that with the Utah Jazz one. His last ever shot with the Chicago Bulls to seal the championship. So for me, I would do that. Number 1, Jordan's shot against the Jazz. Number 2, I put Ray Allen. Number 3, I put Kawhi. Number 4, I put Chris Jenkins. And just because it's here, I don't know if I would have it number 5. I really evaluate all these crazy jump shots that have happened. That Steph Curry one can't be in the top 5. I'm sorry to say. Right. All right. That's just complete recency bias. So I'm just going to put that right there as just because it's in there. But Mr. Robbie, congratulations. You Americans have, I guess, if you win the Olympics, if that's even a thing you can do, but you guys, I guess, technically won the Olympics, finishing off in first place with a medal count, 40 golds, 44 silvers, 42 bronze, for a grand total of 126. The only team that was remotely close to you guys is the Chinese, number 2 on the list with 40 golds as well, tying the States for the gold, 27 silvers, and 24 bronze for a grand total of 91. But the thing that I think you should take into consideration with this Chinese team, Robbie, and he's very patriotic,
This Chinese team won every single diving event, I'm pretty sure, and all the ping pong events. So, I mean, if you take those out, did you know there's 5 ping pong events?
No, I didn't know that.
There is singles men, singles women, doubles men, doubles women, and then mixed doubles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's too many ping pong events. Another thing, too, we're going to go over. Okay, actually, let me just keep going through a little bit of the medal count here. As a Canadian, Summer Olympics normally are not our thing, Robbie. I think the most medals we've ever had at a Summer Olympics before this one was 25. Well, we have surpassed our our massive medal count of 25 this year. We finished 12th with 9 golds, 7 silvers, 11 bronze for a grand total of 27, which if you're doing math, 99 less than the Americans. So just got you off that century mark. That one's got a sting.
Sting who? Sting us or sting you? Here, I'll give you a round of applause for your shitty country.
But first of all, you can go fuck yourself. At least you don't have a bunch of fucking fat, goddamn, greasy, type 2 diabetic losers walking around our country.
Well, our fat, type 2 diabetic country just shows that we're still the
And
most.
you think I wanted to say that? I don't know why you had to call my country a shitty country. There's no fucking need for that. Fuck your country. How does that sound?
Shut up, bitch!
Say that shit about Canada again. You're doing the show on your own, motherfucker.
Your shit country.
All right, see you later.
You can't do that to the people. You know they.
I actually legitimately will leave if you say it again. I'm being dead ass serious now. So try it. I want to see it.
Don't test me
Yeah,
because
that's
you
what I
know I'm
fucking
going
thought.
to do it. You know I'm going to do it.
Now take back what you said about my goddamn country.
Don't tell me I live my life. You called my father a queer last week.
Because your father acts like a queer sometimes, okay?
That's not nice.
Speaking of fucking queers, by the way.
It's a hell of a
So
segue.
you want to talk about a queer bait American? Noah Lyles. I mean, this guy is the epitome of someone that will just say whatever has to come out of his fucking mouth to make him some sort of relevant because he's a fucking sprinter that only has his name pop up once every 4 years.
Literally.
Basically, folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, Noah Lyles basically went viral a couple years ago for saying that NBA players, they're saying they're NBA and NFL players say they're world champions are basically just out of their mind because it's just the world champions of America and they're not actually world champions. And where he's wrong, because the best players in the world play in these leagues. That's why they are world champions. I know that the teams are predominantly based in America and Canada, but the best players in the fucking world play there. That's why they're world champions. And then to just add insult to injury, Robert, he gets, an invite to go to an event about Anthony Edwards where he's receiving some sort of shoe.
Yep.
And basically his comments went along the lines of this. Why would I ever go to this guy's event? This guy's not even an NBA champion, never even made it to an NBA final. Why would I go and watch this guy get a shoe? I mean, it's just like, what is wrong with this fucking guy?
I honestly don't know, dude. I think it's just like out of pure jealousy. Maybe this guy once wanted to become an NFL player or an NBA player, and he just wasn't good enough, and he's a really good runner. That I don't know where this hatred and jealousy comes out of, but yeah, I don't know, dude. This guy, like you said, he exists once every 4 years. Outside of that, he's an absolute nobody. But like, you know who was somebody that was a great sprinter that everyone always loved to pay attention to? Usain
Bolt. Yes. Because he wasn't like fucking. He doesn't do comments like this. You ever seen those videos of Usain Bolt? What he does with the dudes that like are, I guess you can call them like the security guards on the track, or maybe like just like the helpers. Yep. Pretty much every single time, I'll give the guy a fucking fist bump, say what up. Like, you don't have to do that to be a guy like him.
Nope.
And you got Noah Lyles coming up with his fucking finger paint or his fucking fingernails painted. It's just like, this is just fucking. What is this world coming to? I'm sorry to say. I mean, this is the guy that people are looking up to now, this fucking loser.
I don't know if anybody's actually looking up to that guy.
And speaking of you calling my country a shit country, this guy also had some choice words for Canada at the World Championships 4x4 100-meter relay. Basically, the reporters asked him if he's nervous about potentially facing Team Canada in the finals of the 4x4 100-meter relay at the Olympics, and he just kept saying, who? Well, I know we might not have won many golds, Robbie, but one of the fucking golds we won this year at the goddamn Olympics was the 4x4 100-meter relay. So who dat, bitch?
Wow. I bet 98% of the Canadian population, when they hear about Noah Lyles, they say this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You're probably damn right about it. I mean, now we probably do know who he is, but he's not, I'm going to assume, not the most liked person here in Canada. I'm assuming probably not the most liked person.
You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Probably not even the most liked person in America right now either. I mean, I can assume a lot of Americans, especially basketball and football fans, would be upset. One football player in particular, Mr. Tyreek Hill, had some comments today about it as well too, Robbie. Mr. Plouffe, how are you, brother? Saying basically that this guy's out of his fucking mind. He should stay in his own lane. And pretty much what you just said, too. He's a sprinter. He probably wanted to do something else, but he didn't have no hands for it, so he sprints. And then he finished it off with saying that he would beat Noah Lyles in a race, which that one, I don't know if he's going to do that. But I would be interested to see. Oh, look at that, Robbie. Good on you. You found it pretty quick.
Sprinter Noah Lyles. He said that Super Bowl champs should not consider themselves world champions. What do you think of that?
Noah Lyles can't say nothing after what just happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Then he want to come out and pretend like he's sick. I feel like that's like horseradish. So for him to like do that and say that we're not world champions of.
Oh no. No, it's lagging.
Technical difficulties, folks. This happens at a live show from time to time. Technical difficulties.
When your freaking internet provider is just the biggest piece of turd available.
You know, Robbie, I'm gonna take my
like our sport. It says like, come on, bro. Like, just speak on what you know about. You know what I'm saying? And that's track.
Would you like to race him when he gets home?
I will beat Noah Lyles.
You think so?
I will beat Noah Lyles.
Like by a lot?
No, I won't beat him by a lot, but I will beat Noah Lyles.
I'd like to see that happen.
And guess what? When I beat him, I'm gonna put on a COVID mask.
Oh, God.
And let him know I mean
yeah.
Because I do mean business.
Now, there's two things I noticed in this video here. One, Tyreek Hill's utmost confidence. Number two, he was definitely trying to get in her pants.
I mean, I would love to get in her pants as well, too. Definitely very pretty. And after putting in some thought, Robbie, I would like to extend an apology to the Americans for my comments earlier.
You should.
Would you like to extend an apology my way?
Shut up, bitch!
You fucking goddamn. Fuck. You know what? I take back my apology. Fucking goddamn piece of shit.
But well, Zachary, the women's basketball team also won the gold medal, but it also Diana Taurasi is one of the pioneers for women basketball, but you can't sit there and tell me that she deserved that spot over Caitlin Clark. She didn't even play a single second in the Olympics.
Is that the old one?
Yes.
So I remember when we were doing this, I said she shouldn't be on the team. She's already been there for so many years, and you fucking were backing her up.
Yeah, but now I'm trying to stir away from it because I mean she didn't even play a second. She didn't play 1 second of basketball.
I mean, why would you even want to be there at that point? What are you, Jason Tatum? Sorry, Plouffe.
Yeah, you know what? Can we talk about that?
You know what? I think we can. And I also kind of feel bad for Tatum because he hasn't come out and said anything, but a lot of people are kind of giving him flack for it. But it's all the people around him that are the ones that are complaining about it online.
Yeah, it's not even Tatum himself. It's all the crazy Boston Celtic fans.
I also think Tyrese Halliburton handled it very well, too, with that tweet yesterday.
Yeah. Yes. Someone tweeted out, we will avenge Jason Tatum, put it on Twitter. He screenshot it, and then he posted it on his Instagram stories is when it ended up happening. Zach, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes there's the odd man out, and Jason Tatum is not better than Kevin Durant. Jason Tatum's not better than LeBron James. Jason Tatum's not better than Anthony Edwards. How many times have I sat here on the show and consistently said that Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum?
He wasn't even on the team.
Exactly. But who was the finals MVP? Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
Wasn't Jason Tatum, right? Jason Tatum is a very, very good basketball player. Unfortunately, these things are going to happen where there's the odd man out, and it was him.
Now, was Derek Clark playing?
Derek White did play.
Derek Clark. That's my old boss classic.
He did play a lot, but it was predominantly Curry, Drew Holiday, and a hint of Derek White. But those are your three guards. You have LeBron.
Yeah, I guess when you got those guys on the team, you're going to have to take a step back.
You have LeBron, you have Jason Tatum, you have Kevin Durant, you have Anthony Edwards, and give or take, Anthony Davis. I still think a healthy Anthony Davis is better than Jason Tatum.
I honestly kind of forgot how ugly Anthony Davis was. Maybe it was just the U.S. uniform on his skin. I'm just so used to seeing like a yellow uniform on it that was just really throwing me off. But man, that guy is tough to look at.
It's the brow, right?
I don't even think it's the brow. It is the brow adds to it, but it's just the whole face construction. You know, like really, it's like almost like Ernie from Bert and Ernie, like just like a super long, slim face.
I wonder if there's comparisons out there. You know what, Zach? I'm gonna look this up right now.
Honest to God, I feel like there's gonna be a comparison out there.
And Anthony Davis.
Ernie.
Oh, Ernie.
Which one's the tall one? I think it's Ernie.
Ernie and Anthony Davis. We're gonna see if I can find something here, Zachary. Ernie and Anthony Davis. Images. No, not a goddamn thing. Looks like they're comparing to some trend.
Okay, Davis. Well, can you just search up a picture of fucking Ernie, dude? It actually looks a lot like him.
I don't know how to zoom in here, but
that's incredible.
Oh my God, here we go.
On the ball. I think I was pretty good with that one, actually. Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. I don't want to say that I'm good at this, but that's pretty fucking spot on. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
That's the same goddamn guy. Hey, that's me. Gonna play some basketball.
Yo, you're too much, bro. You were too much, Zachary.
And Robbie, I think with that, do you have anything else you want to go on with this Olympics, or do we end it off on calling Anthony Davis Ernie? Thank you, Plouffe. I thought so too, actually.
I think we end up with that because that's pretty goddamn good. That was pretty good. Oh, wait. What do you think of the Joel Embiid reception and his reaction to it?
I mean, he had to know that was coming, obviously. Like, I mean, France, I think, was pushing very heavy to acquire him. I still think it's kind of a bitch-ass move that he did because I'm pretty sure he said back in the day that he wouldn't play for the Americans. He wanted to represent his home country or whatever. I mean, obviously, you realize at some point that you're never going to fucking win any sort of medals if you don't play for Team America. So, and I mean, I know we both hate him, Robbie. He is one of the best players in the world.
He's one of the biggest pussies in the world.
He's definitely a huge pussy, but he's definitely very good at basketball too. But I think the French gave him the exact reception he deserved. And I honestly kind of like the way he handled it.
Zachary, I'm going to take your thunder here, and I'm going to segue.
Wow.
Speaking of pussies, let's transition the NFL and talk about Brandon Aiyuk.
Yeah.
Because this guy...
I should have put my Browns jersey on for this one.
The Patriots had the first opportunity. They had a deal in place. They were set to make him one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL with a salary average of $32 million. We never got the full details on what was going to be sent over to the San Francisco 49ers, but a deal was in place. He denied it. And Zachary, that's what my team did. Why don't you tell the folks what your team was going to do?
So funny enough, actually, while this was going down, with the Brown situation, anyways, Saturday night I was at the cottage and we're kind of just discussing it. We're just talking like they're asking me would I want Brandon Aiyuk, and I was sitting there and I was kind of like, honestly, like obviously this is gonna say stupid to say that I wouldn't want him because he's obviously a very skilled wide receiver, but if you look at the Browns that they got in receiving core, the receiving core is fine. You know what I mean? And bringing in a guy that you're gonna have to pay $30+ million as a receiver. That you've seen kind of what he's been doing in San Fran now of holding up. You can kind of see that ego. And I'm a big Amari Cooper guy. Jerry Jeudy, he has a lot to show me this year, but I expect some big things from him. And then a name that I mentioned last podcast, I think you got to keep an eye out if as our third wide receiver this year is Cedric Tillman. I think that guy's poised to have a big year as well too. But basically what occurred Saturday night, Robbie, was the Cleveland Browns trade set in done deal, handshakes made. Brandon Aiyuk to the Cleveland Browns for Amari Cooper and a 2nd and 5th round pick in the NFL draft. And when I first got this news, I was like, okay, you know what? We had to get rid of Cooper, but at least, like, I mean, if you have Cooper, Jeudy, and Aiyuk, that's just too much. I think, you know, obviously it's exciting, but it's who the hell are you going to throw the ball to? Someone's going to get pissed. There's Eagles being ridden. So I'm like, okay, you lose Cooper, but you get a younger, faster. Maybe not as good of a route runner, but probably a better overall receiver in general, or a better overall receiver in general in Brandon Aiyuk. So I'm like, okay, Not bad. And then this fucking stupid bitch vetoes the trade. After I'm pretty sure I saw him mentioning that Browns were a team that he would accept the trade to. And now the thing that makes me concerned, Robbie, this shit got leaked. Like your trade offer didn't end up getting leaked. The trade offer got leaked. Amari Cooper now knows he was shopped. He was traded. They would rather have Brandon Aiyuk than him. So what does that show you now if you're Amari Cooper? Like, obviously that's going to take a bit of a sting on your relationship, I would have to assume, with the team. So I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I was fucking pretty shocked that he's now turned down 2 trades. I mean, at this point, I think he's just going to be a San Francisco 49er next year. It's like, do you want to get traded? Do you want to move on to somewhere? To me, this guy makes no fucking sense. And then the only other team now that's pretty much in on him is the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it's like, I mean, in my opinion, out of those 3 teams, Robbie, the best chance of possibly, I don't think any of us have a chance of winning a Super Bowl, but the best chance would be with the Browns, with the defense, with the offensive line. At least going into next season. I mean.
Right. So this upcoming season, correct?
Yeah, and honestly, for the next couple of years, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what Drake May is going to look like? Who knows what?
Okay, never mind. I thought
out of those 3 teams, Steelers, Patriots, and Browns.
I agree. I thought you were going
and of course, and did you see? That's why I call your dad a queer sometimes, Robbie. You know, you're giving me shit for it earlier. It's the first thing he says when he comes in. Not even a hello. That's the first thing that comes out of Bob's mouth. Welcome, Bob. By the way, you know, it couldn't have been more of a perfect first line, Bob. Robbie was giving me shit today for being mean to you last episode, and I said I'm mean to your father because he's mean to me. And that right there is Exhibit A. Anyways, Bob, welcome. Thank you for showing up, sir. Always a pleasure to have you in the chats.
Sweet Jesus.
God damn it.
Zachary, I would like to say I wasn't upset. Wow, I think he's just going to keep going on.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to we're going to let slide.
I wasn't upset when he elected to turn down the trade to the New England Patriots, because if you ask me, I don't think Brandon Aiyuk is a necessity or important to what they need to do build for the future. I think what I want them to get done immediately is get the situation Matthew Judon done as soon as possible. I know he suffered a really bad, I think it was a shoulder injury last year from that dirty ass team down in the disgusting state of Texas, the Dallas Cowboys, when they took out Christian Gonzalez and Matthew Judon because they're a bunch of dirty playing. Stop. Let me stop myself. Okay. That is more of a necessity than Jerry Jeudy. You drafted all these young wide receivers in the draft last season. We're trying to see what we're going to get out of Pop Douglas. It was never really a thought in my mind of them getting Brandon Aiyuk. And especially for that price tag, I mean, we still got to see how Drake May is going to pan out, because Joe Milton has looked pretty good through the first preseason game. And then you got Jacoby Brissett, who we've seen could play, right, Zach? You've seen yourself.
He's a game stabilizer. That's my description of him. You're not going to see nothing too flashy, but he'll get you. He's just cool, calm, and collected out there.
Yes, he is a gamer. So, but when he turned down the trade to Cleveland, there's one team I think that he really wanted to go to, but this team no longer needs him or has interest in him. Could you guess what that team is?
I don't think I can, to be honest with you.
There's a lot of teams, Zachary, but there was one team I thought in particular that would have gotten a deal done. But they ended up drafting a wide receiver in the draft, and he's looking pretty good. That team I'm alluding to is the New York Football Giants. Malik Neighbors, although there are concerns, Zachary, from what I saw in the notes, he left.
He's got an ankle sprain. I think it's a mild ankle sprain, so it's not just something we got to report, but I'm assuming he'll be ready to go for week 1.
And this isn't something that the Giants...
Oh. Okay.
Well, you know what?
Fuck you, Bob. How does that sound? Thank you for the money. There's 2 real hosts of this damn show.
Oh, I see what he did there. Oh, well, he's not wrong. Anyways.
Right, you can do the show by yourself then. This will be my final Sports Cave episode, folks.
No one.
Unfortunately, I'm not a real host, so I'll just be popping in here once every few months, do some hockey stuff.
So we'll see you in opening day for hockey.
Nah, if I'm not busy.
Dad, stop it. Stop it. But thank you. Thank you for the gift for both me and Zachary. That's a late birthday gift for you, Zachary. Oh my God.
I read that, but I'm not even going to comment on it.
Well, as I was saying, the New York Giants have made all the sense in the world, but they're not going to hop into this, and then they got to pay him a ton of money when they're still trying to find out if Daniel Jones is going to be their franchise quarterback from here on out. So there's no chance they're going to Brand Aiyuk, trade a high draft pick in case they have a catastrophic season. They could use that pick towards a quarterback, depending where they are in the draft. I think he ends up staying in San Francisco. They try to work something out.
I think at this point, yeah, that's probably exactly what's going to happen. But you don't think the Giants would still be interested in possibly making? I know they just got Malik Neighbors. Don't they be interested in still bringing in Aiyuk? That'd be a pretty powerful 1-2 punch.
Not if it's going to cost them over $30 million.
Yeah, it's a lot of cash, especially when you're already paying Daniel Jones, which I guess now, if you look at the quarterback contracts, is technically not a horrible contract. Still way too much money for him, but.
No, and I believe it's either this year or next year is the last year of his deal anyway, so they'll cut ties with them soon. They'll save all that money.
Yeah,
I'm
that is true.
saying that I think Tommy DeVito is better than Daniel Jones.
Well, that's just asinine.
How's that asinine?
Daniel Jones has been injured. I think we're going to see a healthy Daniel Jones with this Malik Neighbors. I think we're going to see what he has to offer. Tommy DeVito rode the 15 minutes of fame last year.
Daniel Jones wasn't even part of the reason why they made it to the playoffs. I'm just going to go out and say that right now. That was all Saquon Barkley. Easily.
And now a big hole to fill next year.
Very big hole, especially when your running back is Devin Singletary.
Whap, whap, whap.
There are two teams in the NFC East that have horrible running backs, and that's the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, you got that right. And Robbie, you were mentioning Malik Neighbors spraining his ankle at Giants practice. Unfortunately, another wide receiver injury as well, too. Newly acquired Kansas City Chief Marquise Hollywood Brown leaves the preseason game 1 with an injury. No news on the severity of it. So I guess just got to hope to God he's okay, especially for Patrick Mahomes. But look at what Mahomes did last year with basically a bunch of plumbers and electricians and Travis Kelce as his receiving corps. So it ain't going to hurt him too bad. But just something to note. And as I just mentioned,
I know how they can fill that void very easily.
Say what?
I know how they can fill that void very easily.
With who?
The new free agent that was released by the New England Patriots and former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju wasn't bad for Kansas City, dude.
I know, but that's not. I mean, I'm not saying Hollywood Brown is this fucking elite all-star wide receiver, but he's a hell of a lot better than Juju Smith-Schuster.
We know what Juju Smith-Schuster's track record is as a Robin. We know as a Batman, he's been nothing but a failure. And honestly, I don't know what's below Robin because when Hollywood Brown comes back, he probably will be number 2. And Juju as a number 3 is pretty damn good. I don't know what it is. This guy just can't be the Batman. He's got to be the sidekick.
Well, I mean, sometimes you just can't play the hero role. You know, you just got to play the supporting. There's always an Oscar for supporting actor.
There needs to be a study about like Pittsburgh receivers falling off a cliff and dying.
Okay.
Martavius Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster. Hell, I'm putting Antonio Brown into the equation because once he left Pittsburgh, he was never the same again. I mean, he was still a great receiver for the Bucs, but he was nowhere close to what he once was, and plus all the CTE. Everything
CTE.
Chase Claypool, that needs to be studied. Do you think he was in France for the Olympics? You know, trying to like be a fashion model still, or what do you think was going on with Chase Claypool?
Couldn't even tell you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Robbie. There's probably not too many people I literally couldn't care less about.
Okay, we'll move on to the next thing.
The last little bit here, football news, before we get into our top 10 quarterbacks, folks. Yes, you heard that right. Top 10 quarterbacks. The preseason has begun, Robbie. We got a lot of debuts for some new quarterbacks. We saw Bo Nix looked very good in his first little stint. JJ McCarthy looked pretty good. You're not that Drake May really didn't really have too much chance to look good, but the other guy you guys have, the JJ Milton, I think his name is, he looked pretty good. Joe Milton
from the University of Tennessee.
He didn't look bad. Trying to think here. We saw Michael Penix. We saw Caleb Williams.
Stetson Bennett looked terrible for the Rams. Trey Lance looked terrible for the Cowboys.
You know what I find funny about Stetson Bennett? Is all I'm seeing on Twitter yesterday is, game-winning drive, game-winning throw from Stetson Bennett. Then I look at his stats. I'm like, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. What are we celebrating here, folks?
Right.
So, I mean, not going to be a regular on an NFL team anytime soon, that's for sure. But lots of new quarterbacks, Robbie. And, I mean, definitely some that look more exciting than others. I'm excited to see more Caleb Williams because I really didn't get that much of a sample size there. The guy from Washington, Jaden Daniels, I'm excited to see more of him. He looked pretty good in his debut. So keep your eye open here, folks. Preseason is on the way, or sorry, not on the way. It has arrived. Preseason week 2 is on the way here.
Now, I want to talk about the Patriots quarterback situation because there were 4 different quarterbacks to play, Zachary.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Oh my God. I don't have the alarm thing. Share screen.
Breaking news.
This is going to look really ugly, Zachary. Do we need this? Do we need the alarm?
No, we don't need the alarm sound because I'm too excited. I have to take this right now.
Wait. I got it right here. Wait, please. No. Okay. You know what? Just go ahead. Go for it.
John Tavares is no longer the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews is the new captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are stripping John Tavares and giving the C to Austin Matthews. Well deserved, man.
I agree.
This will be officially announced 11 a.m. Wednesday. So you're getting the fucking first early scoop here on the Sportscape if you're listening to this live, folks. So that is what we do. Congratulations, Mr. Matthews, newest captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Also our only NHL news today. So thank God that just came in here.
We just want to take this moment to salute you. The greatest.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow. Steezy.
Steezy now.
Which by the way,
yep. Tell him, Robbie.
No, you tell him.
Steezy, you're going to have to go to your Twitch account. Actually, where is it, Robbie?
It is under your rewards in your Twitch account, and you will find your free 3 months of Apple TV.
Bam, Steezy. Congratulations on that, and thank you very much for the subscription here.
We greatly do appreciate that. Thank you very much, Steezy.
But Robbie, I think with that we can get into our top 10 quarterbacks here going into the 2024 NFL season.
It's the Sports Game. Top 10 quarterbacks heading into the 2024 season.
Now, Robbie, how would you like to do this? Same thing, 10, 10, 9, 9, and so on and so forth.
Sounds good to me. Please hold.
Yes, no problem.
Zachary, I'm just telling you right now, I already know I'm going to receive a lot of backlash for my top 10. I think the top 3, everybody has it in that order. But
I would assume so.
I'm assuming up till I get to maybe number 5, people are going to be very, very disappointed or baffled by my selection.
I have some weird ones here too, Robbie. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I'm watching that one because you're a retard.
Maybe.
God.
Yeah, way to say that, fucking retard. Anyways, here, number 10 for me, Robbie. Guy that...
Wait.
All right, well, shit.
Number 10.
Oh, my God. A guy that I would have had a little bit higher on this list last season, but last year with a collapse of all collapse to finish the season off, I had to drop him down, but he's still a top 10 quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
You have Jalen Hurts all the way down number 10.
Yep. I'm not too big on him anymore, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And that's why, and now I'm actually looking at this list now. I probably should have had him at 7 and moved everyone from 7 downward, but the list is here now, so.
Wow. I'm shocked. I'm shocked you have him that low. Number 10 for me, this guy has never gotten his respect. Never gotten his respect from the time He played for this team for so many years, and then he got traded over. After he won the Super Bowl, then he got his respect, but he gets hurt, loses respect, and he was pretty good last year when he played most of the games for the Los Angeles Rams. At number 10, I have Matthew Stafford, number 10. Give this man his respect. Give him his flowers. This guy is a very, very good quarterback. Matthew Stafford for me at number 10.
Yeah, I already fucked my list up, to be honest with you. We're just going to keep going here. At number 9, I know he didn't play a snap last year, but he's still one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live. I have to make a top 10 list. You have to include Aaron Rodgers.
You don't include Aaron Rodgers in the list and you're retarded. I'm just going to say it twice in the span of 2 minutes. It's well-deserved.
Yeah.
Number 9 for me, and I want this guy to be even higher. This guy impressed everybody last year. I was on the record saying that this quarterback was better than Dak Prescott, and a lot of people gave me a lot of crap about it. But the fact of the matter is, it's true. Number 9, and he could be higher, I have from the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff at number 9.
Damn. Well, Robbie.
Number 8.
Oh. This one kind of pains me, but you can't turn a blind eye to what this guy did last season.
Can't.
He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Bob, put your dick in your hand because Dak Prescott coming in at number 8.
You disgust me in so many ways.
He had a hell of a year last year, Robbie. I don't know what you want me to tell you. He had a fantastic year last year.
How about them Cowboys?
And Bobby, I'm at 6. That's because you're smoking methamphetamines.
Stays off the weed.
Well, for me at number 8, you're talking about you can't ignore the success that they had last year, that this quarterback had. And for me, it's not Dak Prescott. And I think this guy's going to get even better. Number 8 from the Houston Texans, I got C.J. Stroud.
Ooh.
C.J. Stroud was very impressive last year, Zachary. I mean, let's be honest. Did anyone and their mother anticipate the Houston Texans making the playoffs last season with the rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, as the rookie head coach is a defensive-minded coach? No one did. They exceeded expectations exponentially. And for those reasons, I can't ignore what he did. And they're bringing in Stephon Diggs to go along with Tank Dell and Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz and Joe Mixon. Houston, last year, I think if you would ask me for the next 3 to 4 seasons, who I take to win the AFC South, I would have told you Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Before
it's Houston.
Now it's Houston.
Yep. Not a bad pick at all, Robbie. At my number 7, you've already mentioned him. I think this guy could possibly go down as one of, if not the toughest quarterback that's ever played this position. And that is recent Super Bowl winner from a couple years ago, Mr. Matthew Stafford from the Rams.
Love it. I respect you for putting him in the top 10. He deserves it. Number 7 for me. I hope you didn't leave this guy out of your top 10. I don't know if the numbers are going to show it because he lost both of his best receivers in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. But with Jim Harbaugh in, a good head coach, unlike Brandon Staley, I don't think the Chargers make the playoffs this year. I think they're just going to miss out. I think the AFC is so tough. It's going to be hard for them to find a way to make the playoffs. But if anybody can find a way to do it with this quarterback, Justin Herbert can find a way. I'm going to put Herbert at number 7, respectively.
Robbie, I'm glad you mentioned his name because at number 6.
Number 6.
Justin Herbert from the Los Angeles Chargers. That's who I have coming in at number 6 on my list. Like you said, the guy's lost pretty much his whole receiving core, but what he's done in his short time in the league is you got to give credit where credit's due. The guy is a certified fucking slinger, and he deserves to crack any single top 10 list for quarterbacks. Number 6, Justin Herbert.
My number 6 is the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson. Folks, don't sit here and say that I'm stupid or I'm naive by putting him at number 6 because he won the MVP last year. Joe Burrow, missed time last year, was hurt. Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts, catastrophic decline because of the selfishness of Nick Sirianni, which he openly came out and said. Justin Herbert, hurt. Matthew Stafford, hurt. There's no doubt in my mind that Lamar Jackson is a good quarterback, but he ain't a great one. He's a great runner that has the ability to play quarterback.
I think he makes a lot of mistakes.
For me, he's number 6, and it's still not even a bad thing. He's just outside the top 5. It's not a bad thing.
Number 5.
Now, this one might, I don't think it's going to surprise you a little bit, But I said it last year. This man is a top 5 quarterback.
Don't do it.
Only had one season, but C.J. Stroud comes in at number 5 for me.
I'm starting to believe you're not going to have Deshaun Watson.
He's not on my list, obviously, Robbie.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You're such a good boy. Who's a good boy?
Shut up. C.J. Stroud, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Mark it down.
We can mark that down because I'll take a clip of that. Number 5 for me is a guy that you had all the way down, I think at number 9 or number 10. I'm sticking with Jalen Hurts, dude. I understand that they fell off like hell last year, but I can't see that repeating, dude. I can't see that repeating. Jalen Hurts led his team to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is a dynamic playmaker. And the reason why I have him ahead of Lamar is because just for that reason right there, he's made it to the Super Bowl. Granted, they got lucky when Brock Purdy and the backup got hurt, but they made it there and they fought all the way to the end of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Possibly should have won.
But at the end of the day,
phantom call.
If you asked me between Lamar and Jalen Hurts, who I want right now, it's Jalen Hurts all day. Jalen Hurts is in my top 5.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to disagree with you because I have Lamar Jackson coming in at number 4. I mean, I understand the guy makes a lot of mistakes, but he is just a game changer when he puts it on. And I have to have him at number 4. 2-time MVP. I mean, you got to...
Yeah, but dude, the quarterback room was so the quarterback.
It doesn't matter though, Robbie. There's still fucking so many good players in the league. The guy's won 2 MVPs. He's clearly a great quarterback.
He's a good quarterback, borderline great.
Well, good quarterbacks don't win 2 MVP awards, sir. Great quarterbacks do.
Well, I'll tell you what. This guy I think has won 3, and he's better than Lamar Jackson. That's very easy. Stephen A. Smith always says this. He's a bad man. Discount, double check. Aaron Rodgers is still in my top 5. Aaron Rodgers is number 4. You're a whore. How's that?
Damn. Well, Robbie, I'm pretty fucking sure we're going to have the same 3-2-1 here, so I'm just going to go
Number 3.
It's Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills.
It's Josh Allen. Number 2.
It's Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals.
It's Joe Burrow. Number 1.
It's Deshaun Watson from the Cleveland Browns.
It's Drake May from the New England Patriots.
It's Patrick Kermit the Frog Mahomes.
It is indeed Patrick Mahomes. Now, Zach, I have Josh Allen listed at number 3, but I really did consider putting him outside to like 6 or 7. But what I'm not going to do is
6 or 7 is outrageous.
But we're going to look at his play this upcoming season. I don't know how good this Bill team is going to be. This is from offense and defense. It's a whole new team. They lost a lot of guys. They lost both their starting safeties. They lost Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. They lost Stephon Diggs. I mean, I don't know how good this receiving core is going to be. Car Lover, welcome, brother. What's your take? Who's winning?
Give me the Browns.
I mean, if you're talking about the NFL, I mean, I'm never going to go against Patrick Mahomes right now.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good, unfortunately.
Carlo,
we're doing great, brother. How are you, man?
We hope you're feeling better compared to last week.
You just missed the top 10 quarterback list, Carl Lever. But I feel like the next sport that we are going to be getting into after football.
Wait.
I said after. I'm just giving a pre. It has something to do with cars, I believe. So.
Indeed, it does. But I think Carl Lever's not going to like that. I don't think the Europeans.
That's not a Lithuanian sport.
No, it's not a freaking European sport whatsoever.
Fucking Twitch, bunch of goddamn cocksuckers.
Oh, Zachary.
But yeah, I think it's very tough to choose to pick against Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Eagles could be back there. It's not Lithuanian. Sorry, what is it again, Carl Lever? Latvian.
Disappointing you, Zach.
I knew it started with an L. That's my apologies. But a lot of teams could be representing the NFC next year. Obviously, 49ers are going to be good. Eagles are going to be good. I don't think the Cowboys have a shot. Sorry, Bob. You got no fucking running back going in with Zeke as your number 1 option next year. Yikes.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Cowboys next year.
But it's kind of there's a few teams that could take down that title next year, Robert.
Well, If I had to go off the bat here, so what are we doing? 3 or 5 best teams? I'll do 5. I got 5.
It's another good one too, Detroit.
I have, in terms of who can win the Super Bowl, I have the Chiefs at number 1, and the other 4 are going to be kind of random. Put San Fran in there.
You know what, Robbie? I'm going to do a dark horse team from the AFC.
I'm
Houston
reluctant.
Texans.
No, stop. No chance.
What do you mean? No chance.
No chance. No.
There's definitely a chance. Their offense just got better, and it was already that dynamic last year.
Nope. I'm not putting them in.
No, I'm putting them in my top 5. They could possibly win.
I'm going to go with Chiefs, Niners. I'm putting the Jets in there. If everyone can stay healthy, the
Fucking
Jets.
no chance.
What do you mean?
Are you?
Are you stupid?
All right. Yeah.
You think the Texans are a better team than the Jets on paper when fully healthy?
Well, they showed it last year. Obviously, I know the Jets didn't have a great quarterback last year, but you also are dealing with a quarterback that gets hurt a lot. Breece Hall can't stay healthy.
Comparable backup this year.
Oh my God. Okay, you thought I was stupid for my pick. I think that's stupid. So we both have to agree with that one there.
I will
keep going.
Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Breece
Keep
Hall.
going. I want to hear these more teams.
Okay. So what did I say? I said the Chiefs, the Niners, the Jets, the Lions do have to be in there. The Lions are damn close, and they probably should have won it. Dan Campbell had a couple questionable decisions there.
More than a couple.
And number 5, I'm putting the Bengals with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I don't think that's not a bad top 5. I'm swapping Jets and Texans, but I'll take that top 5.
Nope, because the Jets are way better than the Texans.
Okay, well, we'll see next year.
We will see that next year.
And I think that's probably going to be it for the NFL.
Yeah, I like that little bit of feistiness we had there, Zach.
Ah, fucking suck my dick. How does that sound, huh?
For your fag homo.
Okay.
I'm the real host.
You can't say the word faggot. NASCAR news, folks. We rarely have NASCAR news, so I'm going to let this one go over to Robbie here because
this had to be brought up, Zach. We definitely haven't touched about NASCAR since Daytona 500 because I feel like that's the one time where we're going to sit there and actually pay attention to NASCAR. I'm not going to sit here. I tell you that I paid attention to this race, but this last lap, Austin Dillon would you just got 2 games. Austin Dillon was highly regarded when he was first coming up into the scenes in the freaking, I think it's the Xfinity series below. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't pay attention to NASCAR like that anymore. But he was so highly regarded. He had a big target on his back because he's riding a car that hasn't been ridden since the tragic death of Dale Earnhardt. He rides the number 3. Road ride, whatever. Right? My English sucks. I get it. Everything on the line here. The season is coming to a close pretty soon. If you get a win, you're in the NASCAR playoff. Right now, I believe he was sitting at 32nd in the standings. He had to get a win. And Zachary, by all means, did he get a win? But did it not come with a little bit of controversy?
Oh, I did see this. He just plows through them. I did see this.
Let's watch.
Logano goes back up. Keselowski with him. McDowell in tow. Dillon on the bottom.
The runs on top.
Oh my God, that's not the right video. That was 2021. Oh, because your boy Robbie here is an absolute retard.
You said it, not me.
Yep. Okay. Well, I guess I got to. Oh, here it is.
Dillon gets to him.
Okay. I think this one is it. I think we're being good hands. I can't even hit buttons right now.
One more time around for Logano. The white flag's in the air.
If Dillon gets to him, there will be contact.
Here the announcer.
He can't do it in 1 and 2. Logano looks back. He has a car link now. Joey Logano through 3 and 4 for the final time. There's the contact. He does get to him. The 11 on the inside. He gets it. Oh! Dillon's going to win it at the line.
Now, is that not illegal?
It's not illegal.
Wow.
No, it is not. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it definitely looked like he gave him a little bit of a rear end job there. The white car, I feel like that one just kind of was bad luck there. But the first guy hit Joey Logano. I don't know the rules, but I feel like there could be some points shaved off for that. But like I said, I don't know the rules.
No, I don't think there will be. And here's Joey Logano after the set incident. I'm going to use this screen instead because you can see him better. Who, by the way, is from Middletown, Connecticut.
It's chicken shit. There's no doubt about it. He's 4 car lengths back. Not even close. Then he wrecks the 11 to go along with it. And then he's going to go up there and thank God and praise everything with his baby. It's a bunch of BS. It's not even freaking close. I mean, dude, I get it. Bump and run. I get it. I didn't back up the corner at all. He came in there and just drove through me. It's ridiculous that's the way we race. Unbelievable. I get bump and runs. I do that. I would expect it. But from 4 car lengths back, he was never going to make the corner. And then he wrecks the other car. He wrecks the 11 to go with it. So what a piece of crap.
I kind of agree with him, to be honest with you. The guy fucking rear ends a guy and then sideswipes another guy. I mean, obviously, you got to put it all on the line, but it is kind of a shit move.
He had to make the playoffs. That was the only way he was going to be able to do it. Let's not act like if Joey Logano wasn't in that same position as Austin Dillon, he wouldn't done the same thing.
And also, if Joey Logano was a real man, he would have went over there and fucking settled it with some fisticuffs.
Joey Logano would get fucked up by freaking Austin Dillon, dude. Zach, if you ask me, I am so team Austin Dillon on this. And I would say if it was Joey Logano, I would say if it was Denny Hamlin. In that situation, it's do or die because this is the best shot you're going to have at getting and competing for the cup. Austin Dillon, will he win the cup? By all means, no chance. But he has the opportunity now.
Oh, and by the way, Robbie, it seems like Carl Lover is, in fact, a NASCAR fan.
I just think he absolutely hates Joey Logano. And that's
I'm getting the vibe that he likes him.
I'm just happy because Joey Logano lost. And then he said this about Joey Logano. And
Yeah, Carl Lover's not a big Joey Logano guy. But you know what, Carl Lover, I'll join you. Fuck Joey Logano.
But I'll tell you what, Zach, this is what NASCAR need, and they're advertising the shit out of it. And smart, because it is a dying sport. It is not as entertaining as it once was. And do you know who used to race like that? Dale Earnhardt himself. So am I going to sit here and tell you that Austin Dillon is a good racer? No, he's not. But he did the same thing Dale Earnhardt would do. Whatever it takes to win. I commend him for that effort.
Well, I guess when you put it that way, I'll have to agree with you there because he definitely did do whatever it took to win there.
Now, I don't have any audio, I don't think, of Denny Hamlin's reaction. I'm going to see if I can find Denny Hamlin because that was the other guy that was taken out there. Zach, did you watch that NASCAR thing on on
Netflix?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Pretty good, wouldn't you say?
I thought it was very good, actually. I thought all of those Netflix, the Full Swing, the whatever company makes those documentaries, they absolutely kill it. The only one I haven't seen is the tennis one. But I feel like even the tennis one would be pretty cool.
Denny Hamlin. Well, I have one here. I'm just gonna play. I don't know how much I'm gonna play. It says 1:30, but this was Denny Hamlin. Being a part of that crash.
Should have been penalized for that, or is that just, you know?
Where's the line, Bob? I mean, that's the thing is we have rules against, to prevent ridiculous acts, but, it's been a long time since those rules really have been enforced. I mean, didn't Lane Riggs spin someone out and get 2 lap penalty or some bullshit? Like, this is, it's tough because this is what the young short track racers see, and they think that this is okay because they watch the professionals on Sunday that are supposed to act like adults just do dumb shit, and it's just amazing that it's allowed. I mean, but I don't fault him because he's completely desperate, right? He's 30th in points. He jumps 20 spots in points or whatever the hell it is. It's his season saved. Now, he'll have to pay repercussions down the line for this, and but it's so worth it from his standpoint because there's no guardrails or rules that say don't do that, and there's no one in the tower that has any problem with it. So, we're never ever going to get taken seriously as a sport because we have no real officiating.
I disagree.
Damn.
And he was contradicting himself multiple times there because he was hating on him for doing what he did, but then he comes out and he goes, "But I can't blame him." And here he goes saying we're never going to be taken serious as a sport. We're talking about NASCAR right now. I guarantee you there's a lot of other shows that barely touch base on NASCAR that look at that and be like, that was pretty insane.
Yeah, we have to discuss this now.
What do we want to see? A casual finish? No. Crazy finishes like that is what makes NASCAR so.
I want to see cars flip.
I mean, without anybody
safely.
Without anybody getting killed. But and in a way too, he is right. NASCAR needs to figure out this whole officiating thing because they're always trying to make it safer for the drivers. But what does it mean? What does it mean?
What does it mean?
But you know what, Zachary? That just about does it for NASCAR. And you know what? We did fail to mention one topic in the NFL.
What's that?
The CeeDee Lamb situation.
Oh, yes. We can touch
I looked down at my phone here at CeeDee Lamb, and I feel like that was something that we need to talk about. Zachary, I don't. What do we make of this? What do we make of this?
You got Jerry Jones basically publicly coming out saying that it's not even a priority essentially for him to sign CeeDee Lamb. Pretty much it's a loose quote there. And then coming out basically a couple days later, trying to fumble fuck his words to shove him back in his mouth and make him not look like a complete fucking geriatric jackass. He basically goes, well, what I meant by that was we all know what you're going to get with CeeDee Lamb, and he's such a great player and this and that, and just kind of beat around the bush. But, I mean, if you're CeeDee Lamb, those are not the comments I'd want the fucking owner of this team to be saying about me.
And Des Bryant's basically come out and publicly said, like, get used to it, essentially, because the same shit happened to Des Bryant. I'll tell you what, Zachary, if you asked me, I would be all in for the Patriots sending that same package, if not a little more, to bring in CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is a top. I mean, I
know, but I think you're talking about a more hefty trade deal to acquire CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb I had as the number 4 receiver behind Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and Justin Jefferson.
I think I had him number 3.
I think you did too.
I mean, we're talking about a top guy.
We are. And the Cowboys need to do whatever they can to hold on to this guy.
Well, yeah, I can't believe they haven't done something with it yet. Like, I understand you're going to have to pay Dak, you're going to have to pay this guy, you're going to have to pay Parsons. But fucking give the man his money.
We missed out on another topic. Shortly after trading him for a 3rd-round pick, Hassan Reddick has requested a trade from the New York Jets. Hassan Reddick was the edge pass rusher that the Jets trade for off of Philadelphia. That's looking for new contract extension, looking for $24 to $28 million in average per year.
Oh, damn!
Really requested a trade after the Jets haven't been able to work out a contract. General Manager Joe Douglas has come out and said, "We're not trading you. You're going to play," and I'm all in favor of that. I mean, let's be honest, Zachary. Hassan Reddick, you don't even know who he is.
Yeah,
I didn't really know of him until I started looking at the stats. I'm like, you know what? This guy's actually pretty good. Because when I thought of their front 7 in Philadelphia last year, there were 2 people that came to my mind immediately. Number 1, Fletcher Cox. Number 2, the rookie sensation out of the University of Georgia, Jalen Carter.
Guy's a beast.
So you had 2 guys that are definitely seeking a lot of attention that you could take advantage. And that's not to say that he doesn't have the same situation with the Jets, because they have CJ Mosley. They have Sheldon Williams. There's top talent there. But are you trying to win a championship? Or are you so thirsty for all that money? And if you're thirsty for that money, I mean, good for you, but no one else is going to view you as that top tier lineman just yet. So go out and prove it.
Carl Lover had quite the comment about Hassan.
What are we doing in the chat today, folks? What are we What are we doing?
I'm with you, Carl Lover. It definitely is ringing that same bell.
Oh my God.
But he's a football player.
It is a football player. But, you know, Zachary, I think that's all we have left.
Let's get into MLB where there's no Hassans.
But the MLB, there's arguably worse.
Let's start with that.
You know what? Let me get the audio clip before we give out a full explanation. Although it isn't very well heard, but it's
PSA, folks. You're going to hear the word faggot. PSA.
Yes, you are. Jarren Duran, what do you guys say to this fan heckling you?
Well, for those of you folks that didn't hear that there, the fan in the stands was screaming, tennis racket, you need a tennis racket. basically symbolizing that Mr. Duran was unable to hit a ball, needed a larger surface to hit the baseball with. Where he decided to return the favor to the fan and say, "Shut the fuck up, you faggot." Now he's received a 2-game suspension, Robbie, from the MLB for this. I mean, if you're Duran, you got to be smarter than that. Like, you got to know it's gonna get picked up from somewhere. Now you can see the score is 10-0, so he's probably already at his fucking wit's end. Emotions were definitely high, but you just can't turn around and call the fan a faggot, Robbie. It's not in the rule book, you know?
You're not going to like me.
Oh, God.
You are not going to like me.
Why is this?
Can we stop overreacting? Seriously? Because God forbid, what if the fan said that? Then we're just like, oh, that fan's a bad person. Like, let's not sit up here and heckle the hell out of Jarren Duran. This guy, if any other athlete did that, seriously, I wouldn't even bat an eye. These, and granted, there could be a lot worse said.
Yeah.
Tennis racket, you need a tennis racket. But to come out here and say that he's like offending people's sexuality or whatever because he said that word, like, stop it.
First of all, when I was growing up and calling my friends faggots, it never had anything to do with them being gay. Okay? It's just a term that us dudes use growing up. But I'm not even disagreeing with you, Rob, because I think it's absolutely bullshit.
True.
But it's also, you just gotta realize you can't say it anymore. You know what I mean?
This stupid sensitivity crap.
I understand that, but it's like that's unfortunately the fucking cotton candy fucking Powerpuff Girl world that we live in now.
Ain't gonna be
and
me.
It's been the world that we lived in. Well, you're not a fucking professional MLB player.
Well, Zachary, one day I hope this podcast does take off, and I'm not changing who I am, and I want you to change who you are.
No, but I will even say this: like, even I listen to this podcast, Kill Tony, and they say retard. They get fat girls on stage, call them fucking big fat beluga whales, and they still have to blur out the word faggot.
It's stupid.
It is stupid, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
I'm on the Red Sox player's side. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty crazy, but
like, if it makes me a bad person, fine. It makes me a bad person. I really don't care. But let's not act like you haven't said anything worse than that as a person yourself. And don't sit up there and be like, well, they need to hold themselves to a higher degree. Because you were the same people 11 years ago when the Boston bombing happened that were crying when David Ortiz said, this is our fucking city. Because he cursed. Stop it. It's not like he intentionally is trying to attack a community. There is a fan that was heckling him. He was fed up. It got to the point where he just lashed out. And
let's be honest too, Robbie.
It doesn't make him a bad person. He made a mistake. Is he going to say it again? No, but like, you're going to sit there and tell me that the people listening to this that are offended by it aren't going to be the same person that said, I've never said that in my life. Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Fan kind of sounded like a faggot too, if you ask me.
Yeah, get real. That's all I got to say. Get real. And if
Robbie,
you're going to continue to complain,
shut up, bitch.
Yeah. Can we transition from using this word about 55 times in the last couple minutes here to talk about?
I think you used it.
I use it quite a bit. But I would like to talk about.
In case you didn't see, he has a 2-game suspension by the Boston Red Sox, and I just seen a post.
I mentioned that about 3 minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
And
you know what?
You responded to me, but you're fucking too busy looking at your phone. I knew you weren't goddamn listening to me.
No, I was listening. It just slipped through my mind. According to Gabrielle Starr, per source, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu has requested a meeting with the Red Sox regarding the Jarren Duran incident. I don't know what this means. I don't know if they're trying to get him kicked off the team or whatever, but stop it.
If he gets kicked off the team, then I'm not watching baseball this year.
I mean,
that's a show that I haven't already, but
your team is a bunch of failure.
Well, Robbie, we got to talk about one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now, and he just so happens to play for my Toronto Blue Jays, and that is Mr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on an absolute tear, Robert. 22-game hitting streak, batting a .494 with 10 doubles, 11 home runs, and 22 RBIs. I mean, yes, the Jays suck, but at least this is something that Jays fans can be excited about. I know we're pathetic losers.
Yes, you are.
But at least we have one good player.
2.
Who's the other one?
Kevin Gossman?
Yeah, okay. I meant I meant hitter.
Okay.
Offensive guy.
Because your offense is pretty mediocre. A bunch of losers.
Terrible. Mediocre is not even a word to use.
Your second best hitter you traded, Kalaf or Falafel.
Yeah, fucking Middle Eastern dish. But Robbie, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., what do you got to think about that? Very impressive.
No, it definitely was very impressive. I mean, this is a guy that you were so fed up earlier in the season that you said just get rid of him.
I was ready for him to leave. Yeah.
But now it's a good thing you didn't trade him at the trade deadline, because with him putting numbers up like this, I think at the end of the year, they're going to have to sit down collectively and decide, are we going to try this again, or do we start over again? Because the problem is that your farm system is
horrible.
Not where it once was when you had Kevin Biggio, when you had Nate Pearson, you had Vladdy, you had Bo Bichette, you had Teoscar Hernandez. You don't have that anymore. I couldn't even tell you one prospect out of your system right now. And if you had one good prospect, they probably would have called him up 2 months ago when desperate times called for desperate measures. And I'm not trying to take shots at you.
No, we don't. We literally have a very thin prospect pool.
A top 3 prospect from the Astros system, if I'm not mistaken, for the Kikuchi.
Top 2, but he still wasn't even in the top 100 prospects total.
Oh, then he's a failure. Well, Zach, congratulations to Vladdy, and he's going to look good in pinstripes next year.
Oh God, no! There's no chance he's going there.
What would you do if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was a New York Yankee next year?
I'd find out where he lives and I'd kill him.
Zach,
guys, I'm just joking here, okay? I would just be very upset, you know? Well, I can't take a fucking joke around here.
I, Robbie Clark, have no association with that context whatsoever.
I'm not actually going to kill him, but I'll kill him with my looks.
I, Robbie Clark, have nothing to do with this association of killing.
Now, Robert, I heard you mention the pinstripes, and we got a note out here. There's now a tie for the best record in the MLB right now.
And
they both come from our division, the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles. Tie for the best record. Who's going to edge this division out, Robbie? I know you're going to say the Yankees, and honestly, probably going to have to agree with you. I think the Yankees are going to end up edging out this division.
Really?
Hate to say it.
What makes you say that?
Well, I mean, you got Aaron Judge hitting fantastically. You got Soto, who's playing great. You got the pitching's been stepping up. And I mean, I just feel like it's going to be close. It's going to be close. I don't think you guys are going to win the World Series, but I think you'll end up winning this division. You know what? No, I'm changing my mind. Baltimore's going to win because they're doing all these gay faces over there.
I'm just shocked that you didn't elect to go with your Bird brothers over there. You elected to come over to the pinstripes and the glory. Well, Zach, let me try to be as non-biased as possible. But have the Yankees not looked like such a better team the second they brought in Jazz Chisholm?
Well, I think, honest to God, Rob, you can probably agree with this. They were getting to the point where they couldn't have looked worse.
Agreed. But there's 2 things that have happened since the All-Star break that there's actually a lot of things, honestly. I'm really, I guess, going to suck the hell out of the Yankees here. The first thing being first, I'm not pointing at Jazz, not pointing to Stan's returning. Carlos Rodon is pitching like a pitcher instead of pitching like a thrower. This guy, all he used to do was fastball, slider, fastball, slider, fastball, slider. He started becoming predictable. Now he's worked on his changeup. He's worked on his curveball, and it's got some nasty stuff to it, man. Carlos Rodon is looking like that $30+ million pitcher that they were looking for when they first signed him last season. He's looking fantastic. Carlos Rodon should be number 1. Number 2, the best trade acquisition at the deadline, Jazz Chisholm. That was the best trade at the trade deadline by any team across MLB. And I think that isn't biased. I think it's the truth. I think that's probably the most high key marquee name that was out there available for trade, Zachary. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd probably say he was one of the, if he wasn't the best, he's definitely one of, that's for sure.
And he's played third base well. I think he's had 7 home runs since he's been traded over. He's batting over 300, a couple stolen bases, playing third, playing center field. He's been great. And the last one, Giancarlo Stanton. This guy is definitely nothing close to what he once was. But I wanted you to see this video, Zach. I don't know if you got a chance to see his home run yesterday, but what the hell's going on here? Discard list. I want to go home and I want to search up Giancarlo Stanton. Moral of the story here, Zachary, was Juan Soto hit into a double play. And that went to two, and it was an unfortunate double play too. It was a line drive to first base to where Verdugo had nowhere to go. So they tagged the base and he was out. So you had runner on third, Judge coming up. They did the same thing that John Schneider did the entire series. They intentionally walked him 7 over the first. Giancarlo Stanton had runners on second and third after Judge stole a pitch. And Zachary, take a look at this piss missile.
The 2-2.
I don't even think it's loading right now. Let's start over again, Zachary.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Hopefully.
The 2-2. That's a bullet to left field. See ya. Oh, and he crushed that ball.
Dude, that ball went out in like 3 seconds. That was
I've seen better.
Absolute torch. I've seen better from him. But Zach, that's what the Yankees missed right there. When there's runners in scoring position, it's like what I said the second he got hurt. Outside of Aaron Judge, he's probably been better than Soto with runners in scoring position. He had 6 RBIs over the weekend, including 2 home runs. That one right there off the bat of 116, 405 feet, and another one Saturday that traveled 451 feet.
Very impressive stuff. So I'm assuming with all of this, you are going to be choosing the Yankees to win this division.
By far.
Wow. Well, Robbie, if we are talking about teams that we thought were going to be easy
Wait, one
division.
more note. Aaron Judge is 1 home run away from career number 300, and with the amount of games he's played, he will be the fastest player in MLB history to accomplish that feat in X amount of games.
I mean, he hasn't done it yet, but I probably agree with you. It's going to be a very impressive stat.
I got to look at the list here, but I'm pretty sure he's got it by a wide margin. 300.
Well, while you are looking for that, Robbie.
So here it is. Fewest career games to 300 home runs. Aaron Judge entering tonight, he's at 952 or 953. Behind him, Ralph Kiner at 1,087, who originally was the fastest to do it. Ryan Howard at 1,093. Juan Gonzalez at 1,096. A-Rod at 1,117.
Yeah, he's got it by about 100, which is quite impressive.
Yep.
But Robbie, a team that has not been impressive as of late is the Atlanta Braves. They are struggling, holding a half game lead for the final wild card spot here. Robbie, I know with Acuna going down for the season, I think they're actually just dealing with a boatload of injuries over there right now. This is not looking good for the Atlanta Braves, Robbie. Is this team making the playoffs here?
No. And it just goes to show that they should have stuck with Freddie Freeman. Matt Olson had a great year last year. Matt Olson is not nearly the same. I'm going to load up both Matt Olson and Austin Riley's numbers because these guys should be stepping up big time, and they're not. Matt Olson. So Matt Olson's numbers this season, we're going to look at last season. We're going to look at this season, Zachary. Last season, I believe he was a finalist for the MVP. He was batting 283, 993 OPS, 54 home runs, 139 RBIs, which led all of baseball. This year, thus far, drastic drop-off. A 230 batting average, a 737 OPS, 20 home runs, and 61 RBIs. He has been nothing close to what they got out of it.
Not a good fantasy pick on my behalf.
You had him?
I think I have him in both my leagues.
Well, you hate to see it. And now let's talk about their other guy. The guy that they signed to like a 12-year, $225 million contract. We're like, oh, that's a great contract. Well, right now it's not looking good. Austin Riley, a 264 batting average, an 804 OPS. The year prior to, he was batting 281 when he finished off the season with an 861 OPS. So the OPS is pretty close. He had 37 home runs and 97 RBIs last year. This year, only 18 home runs and 55 RBIs.
Huge drop-offs here.
Significant.
In a time, too, where they really need those two guys to step up. It is sad to see. It is sad to see, Robert.
Did I lose you here? Did they just, like, cancel out my freaking thing? Like, can you see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
What the hell is going on? Because it shows that I'm not even in my studio right now. Enter studio.
You're still here.
I'm scared because it says it ended. I am super scared.
I'm still seeing us on the Twitch TV here.
Okay. I figured it out because they elected to start a new thing here.
Oh. No, we're still live.
We're live. This is scary. Okay, we're good. That was scary.
Well, like me and Robbie just said, Atlanta Braves, half game back, struggling stars, not going to be a playoff team this year, it doesn't look like, unfortunately.
Well, the season's not over yet. I mean, let's take a look at the teams behind them. So the first team that was behind them, Zachary, by the half game, could you guess who it was?
Not a clue.
Yes, you could.
Padres.
No.
That's my guess.
Okay, well, yeah, one
Diamondbacks.
Guess. No, Diamondbacks are in first. The Diamondbacks and the Padres are ahead of the Braves by 4 games. There's one team at half a game,
Mets.
2 games at a game and a half. The New York Mets are a half a game behind the Atlanta Braves. The other 2 teams that are behind the Atlanta Braves by a game and a half are the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants, followed by the Cubs 3. The Cincinnati Reds are 4.5 behind. The Pirates are 5, and the Nationals are 8. And when we look at the AL wildcard, the Yankees are up 4.5. The Twins are right behind them. So the Orioles have the tiebreak right now. The Twins are up half a game over the 3rd spot. Kansas City has the 3rd spot. Seattle's 2.5 out. Boston's 3 out. Tampa Bay's 5.5 out. Detroit's 9.5 out. Texas is 10 out, and Toronto's 11 out. I just want to let you know how far out you are.
Moving on. How about that?
Zach, we didn't put this in the freaking notes.
What is that? By the way, Robbie, just so you know, I'm getting very close to this.
You got to go soon. This is the last thing we got to talk about. We're done, right? We got anything?
We
else?
have I don't know. Is that NBA? Lauri Markkanen was last week, wasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. But
We'll say it to be safe. But go on. What do we miss?
Do we care about Lauri Markkanen? I mean, he's overrated,
His
right?
name's Lauri. He's got a name of a female.
You know what this Saturday is, Zachary? Do you?
UFC. Israel Adesanya, baby. I did forget about that.
You did forget.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
Before we do that, Robbie, real quick. LA Dodgers say once Mookie's back, he will be playing in the right field. Okay. And UFC. Let me search up the card here quick.
I got it here.
Oh, beautiful.
So are we just going to do the main card here? Because it's a pretty dog shit card.
Yeah, I guess just go through the main card here.
All right. So I guess the one fight from the prelims that got me excited is Junior Tafa. I believe he drinks out of the shoe, right?
Is that the Australian guy with the weird tattoos on his guts?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's either him or it's Ty to.
I know Ty. I think Tafa's got a very similar looking tattoo as well.
Well, we have from China, Li Jingliang versus Carlos Prates from Brazil.
Are you sure that girl's Chinese?
This is a men's fight, Zachary.
Oh. I was making a joke because that was the most Chinese sounding name I've ever heard with my own 2 ears.
We're getting canceled.
Li Jinglang Li.
All right, Zach. Jesus Christ. Who are you taking? Taking the Brazilian or the Chinese guy?
You know what I find funny, though? They so many of them names are Lee, and they can't even pronounce it correctly. Anyways, Robbie, so Ri Zhang Ri is fighting who?
Carlos Prates.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to skip up to the main event. I don't think we give a shit about this whole card, do we?
Yeah. Well, who's the co-main event?
Kai Kara France versus Steve Urkeg.
Oh, this is a shit card.
Yeah, seriously. The only thing with forward to it is the main event where we have Dricus
Duplessis.
Yep, Duplessis versus Izzy, the style bender, Adesanya, which how much of a favorite do you think Izzy is?
He's got to be a minus 350.
Oh, you're insane. He's only a minus 125.
He is going to fucking mop the floor with Dricus Duplessis.
I agree with you.
Mop the floor with this guy.
Yep.
Duplessis got the absolute shit kicked out of him by Sean Strickland, and it's one of the first times in recent memories that I've seen UFC judges give a very close decision to a challenger in a title fight and not the champion. And that could also have something to do with maybe a lot of people not very big Sean Strickland fans.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely possible.
Duplessis is up Schitt's Creek with no paddle in this one.
So we're both on the Izzy train.
We're going on the rails on the Izzy train.
Sounds good, but Zachary, you have an important meeting, buddy. It's
well,
time
I
for
wouldn't say important. It's fucking be stupid as shit, but
that's not nice. Okay, folks, thank you for tuning into another episode of Sports Game. We're gonna be back here live next Monday. We're gonna start our fantasy football rankings. We did a regular season. We're gonna start fantasy football. That's it. Zachary, take us out. Let's go.
You heard the man, folks. Next week, fantasy football rankings. So stay tuned for that, folks. Thank you again for showing up on this lovely Monday. I'd say for an episode we didn't have too much prepared for, we provided something pretty entertaining for you folks. And with that, guys, there's only one thing left to say. Stay sexy, Sports Cave. And happy birthday, Robert.
Boom, boom.